Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Come on in. Let me know how you're doing. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about a proven way or a proven sign to know that your manifestation is on the way with using the law of assumption. Hey, Kristen, how are you, girl? Thank you for joining. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about a proven way, and I'm going to be mentioning multiple ways, not just one way, but I feel like the most obvious one and the short one is that you have increased your level of awareness and you feel that increased sense of awareness around who you believe yourself to be, how you are experiencing others, how you are experiencing life in general, how you're experiencing just your relationship to your desire. And I, of course, am going to speak about emotional self regulation. That's going to be your best friend when you are looking to increase your level of self awareness, your level of self concept, and just your overall awareness of you being able to know that you are the version of yourself that already has your desire. Because once you desire, you are literally receiving it at the same time. That also means that there's a version of yourself that is essentially sending signals to your current version that will sort of allow you to step into the version of yourself that already has your desire. But not just allow, it also shows you the path. So when you are receiving this desire, you may not consciously be aware, but you are subconsciously aware of how you actually got there in relation to where you're at right now to where you want to be as your desired embodiment or the version of yourself that already has your desire. So it's very metaphysical. It's very like quantum physics, and it's very quantum field related, where you know that all versions of you exist, including the one that has all of the things and gets to enjoy them all and gets to keep them all on a consistent basis. So this is why I'm speaking about this just proven way. It's because you want to be able to consistently maintain these feeling states that are going to bring to you exactly what you expect, which is your desire. And you want to be able to, of course, not just experience it in imagination, but also experience it in reality as well. So very juicy topic. Before I dive deeper, I want to talk about my 9-week for one-on-one for self-concept. It is 9 weeks, and we get that capacity together for the year of 2023, or what's remaining of 2023. If you take advantage of this program before Friday, then we have an additional 3 weeks where we work together one-on-one in that capacity, and I shift you into the version of yourself that already has your desire. And I take you all the way from regulation all the way down to, or up really, to desire embodiment. And we work on you essentially maintaining those feeling states and getting deeper and deeper and leaning in more and more into your desire embodiment. So it's a very juicy program, and it's not very long, but it's very jam-packed with all the things that you need and all the tools that you need in order to materialize desire almost instantly and immediately. So I talked about awareness, and the lack of awareness is the only thing that is keeping you away from your desire. Because again, there's a version of you that already has it, and you cannot see the version because you are the version. And yesterday I spoke about imaginal experiences and imaginal acts, and I call them imaginal experiences because I'm going to do a separate live on this, but you want to give yourself these imaginal experiences first before they're actually created. And that's how you actually create in physical reality, is that you're actually giving yourself that imaginal experience, which is tied to that emotion. And when you get that emotion, those feeling states, you want to start to get to a place where you can tap into those maintained feeling states, where it's not just maintained, but it's like on a consistent basis, you're tapping into it. And you don't always have to be on, you don't always have to be in the maintained feeling states, but the better and better you get at tapping back into those feeling states, the quicker those materialized desires will come in. And it's quite wonderful because once you get into the imaginal experiences, once you get into how to actually do the techniques more effectively, you will start to see a lot of movement in your reality. So again, this is less dependent on what you get to check in 3D and what you get to check externally. It's more about your feeling states and how you're actually feeling, being, believing, thinking, and so on and so forth, as the person that receives your desire. That is the goal. That is the ultimate goal. So going back to like increasing your awareness. So say that you are looking to, and I like to talk about 10K months because that's just a thing for me now. You want to start to give yourself the imaginal experience of this particular desire. And again, the better you get at this, and I'm going to get into like just how you're going to give yourself this imaginal experience because it's a practice. You want to start working on, and I find that, you know, with clients as well, is that they have not worked on the actual receiving of their desire. They know exactly what they want, and you may also know exactly what you do not want. But I feel like both of those go hand in hand because when you know exactly what you want, you are also experiencing what you do not want anymore. But when it comes to materializing desire, you want to get really specific with what you are materializing, and you want to get as specific as you can in your imaginal experiences because that's what's going to build your familiarity with how it's actually going to unfold in reality. So we have no concern about how everything looks in the we're not concerned about the how or the when it comes to materializing desire. What you would rather focus on is receiving this desire and really getting into, again, maintaining those feeling states. And so, yes, going back to the imaginal experience and how you're actually going to receive it is that you want to be able to see your hands in your imaginal experiences. And when you give yourself this imaginal experience, make sure that, again, you are impressed enough, like your subconscious mind is impressed enough and saturated with this new idea so that it could welcome in those emotions and those feeling states while you are giving yourself the imaginal experience. So you are holding out your hands, whether you see your feet or your hands, it doesn't matter, but you want to be really clear on what that is so that you can just add that element of specificity as you are giving yourself the imaginal experience. A lot of us, again, who have difficulty with imagination, visualization, giving ourselves imaginal experiences, acts, even imaginal conversations, because I also want to talk about imaginal inner dialogue conversations, the conversations that you're having with yourself. But just going back to receiving that desire, and say it again, it's 10K months. You are counting as you are receiving those 10K, those 10K, dollars, or what do I want to say? Like the fiat notes, the notes, like the actual bills. You want to be able to hold your hand out and see that it's actually in front of your hands. And that's the specificity that I'm talking about, that you want to get really specific with how you are receiving this money. It could be in a dollar bills. It could be $100 bills. I like to imagine $100 bills because I'm going all the way. You could also imagine a check. You could also imagine your bank account that is, in thousands, and you can imagine the zeros in your account. But it doesn't really matter. What really matters is that you're getting yourself into the feeling state of receiving and holding that receiving. And again, that's what seems to be trippy when it comes to imagination and visualization, is that you visualize it, but because you cannot physically see it, and again, it just goes back to you being in that mental plane where you are finding evidence of this desire not being real for you. And so that's why you're feeling conflicted and kind of judgmental and not in a mode of receiving your actual desire in your imaginal experience. So imaginal experiences are deeply tied and woven into your feeling states. Always remember that. And there's one thing, okay, so inner dialogue conversations, just want to touch on it lightly. is that and you could see that on my page as well. When you go on my page, you could see that I'm speaking to myself and giving myself these affirmations through a form of just conversing with myself. Like, this desire was so easy to materialize. Everything is always working out for me. Everything that I ever desire is happening right now in this now moment. And you want to get really, like, again, it's also tied to your feeling states and your emotions. When you are relaxed, again, like when you're in your regulation, it's the quickest way to impress and saturate the subconscious mind. So you want to be able to do this in a space where you are obviously safe, secure, and stable, but in a space where you're not distracted and you're not thinking about logical like steps to take. You are literally in a space where you can feel into your imaginal experiences and your inner dialogue as well, your inner dialogue conversations. And so when you're speaking to yourself, again, you want to make sure that you are building up that visual, well, this is not really visual, but you want to build up that imaginal feeling state. You want to be able to reach to a certain level of awareness that will allow you to sort of raise that feeling state. And when you get to a level of matching your awareness to that feeling state, you can again start to maintain those feeling states. You might have to do this a couple times, especially when you are in the middle of releasing false beliefs. You want to be able to make this practice like a few times a day in order for you to really be able to shift into the version of yourself that already sees your desire and receives it and is maintaining that embodiment. That's mainly what I want to say. If there's no questions, then I will hop off soon. But if you are someone who wants to know when your manifestation is actually going to be materialized, again, that is not your concern. A proven way to know that you are receiving your materialized desire is knowing that you don't even have to check. That's what I wanted to say, is knowing that you do not have to check external reality. You don't have to check physical reality in order to know that you have this desire. So desire embodiment is knowing that you don't need any physical evidence of it showing up in order to receive it. So, and I know it gets trippy sometimes, but when you really shift into the version of yourself that already has, reality could look the complete opposite, and you are still anchored in your desire embodiment because you know that it is law that it has to get pushed out eventually, and in the most quickest, most natural way possible. And that's what the subconscious mind does with the universe. And again, others come into your reality to shift you into, again, also knowing. And again, you're also experiencing yourself in a completely different way where you actually get to receive, and you're opening yourself up to receiving these experiences. And again, just like kind of being anchored in that embodiment, so it wonderfully unfolds back to you, and it reflects back to you exactly what you are being. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, babe. Thank you for joining. So I believe that's mainly what I want to say, that that the proven way to know that your desire is on the way is that you are not seeking any external physical evidence of this desire, and you're still anchored in that embodiment, and you're trusting that it's going to wonderfully unfold the way that it should in the quickest, most natural way possible. So on that note, again, my 9-week program, again, if you want to take advantage of the bonus 3-week where we work together, I would say that you should book a call with me. The link is in the bio, and we can talk about how we could potentially work well together and shift you into the version of yourself that already has your desire. And again, just embody it until it beautifully and wonderfully unfolds. So on that note, I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.